Okay, welcome guys. This is going to be an analysis video for our successful line straight through Novi. At this point, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you've seen that I did a second attempt and I actually completed it this time. Unfortunately, it wasn't a platinum run, but I already knew that. When I was out on the run, really the question was just, was it a gold run or a silver run? Like I said in the video, we know it's a silver run at this point, which sucks and is disappointing, but we're just going to go through the highlights here, and I'm going to show you kind of, where we went and kind of where we went wrong, and we'll talk about it a little bit. So you can see here, this is the beginning of the line. Here's where we parked, and here's where we started. Nothing really to talk about much here. This is that swamp where we failed the first time. You can see we did a much better job this time, staying on the line and making our way through. No real issues there. You can see us constantly coming back to the line. Crossed through this little section of woods, no issues there. Here was our crossing of M5. Again, no real big issues. Here's where we get our first deviation, and it really kind of sucks because this deviation was completely my fault and really didn't have anything to do with a difficulty on the line or anything. This was just me not paying close enough attention to the GPS, which is annoying and something I need to work on in the future. But obviously you can see we started off pretty good here. And this is where, again, I don't know why. I think what it was is I wasn't holding the GPS exactly straight, and so it it gets a little bit confused because it's like, okay, this is where you're pointing the GPS, but I didn't have it lined up with my body basically, and so I'm thinking that I'm going on the line, but obviously you can see I'm going way off, and it wasn't until I got to maybe here or here, so somewhere along here, that I really realized that, oh crap, I have been going the wrong way. And so by the time I realized that, it was too late. I was past it. So I had to work my way back. Again, it sucks, but it happened. It is what it is. So as we come through here, this is the spot right here where, as I got up to this road, there was a car coming from right here. And let me just show you what this looks like. So this is Summit Drive, and this is, it comes back in here. There's a bunch of houses and stuff, but it dead ends right here. So there is no reason for someone to be walking around over here at like 5 in the morning. And so when I saw that car coming, I was like, oh crap. And I ran back to sort of just get farther away from the road and get kind of behind some cover. And then once it passed and I realized that I didn't think they saw me, at least they weren't stopping or anything. So it was fine. Then I continued on. Again, no big really deals here. We kept it in the 25-meter zone all the way through here, all the way through here, and then this is where the dog incident happened. So I'm coming right down here, and so this is the house that had the dog. This is a barn, and this barn, and again, it's so dark that it was hard to tell exactly where I was. I think I was about right here, somewhere in here, when I saw the dog initially. And it's hard to tell what direction I was looking, but this barn has a fenced-in dog run on it, and I thought maybe the dog was out here, and that maybe they just kept their dog outside at night. So when I kept going, all of a sudden I realized, oh no, the dog's over here, and it ran straight at me, and the dog was probably somewhere in here. And that was when I froze, and then there's a pine tree right in here. Actually, no, the pine tree is like right here. Yeah, so I was here and the dog was coming towards me again. So I started trying to move this way to get away from it. And then I got behind this pine tree and I sort of froze there. That was when the guy came out of the house and started calling the dog and brought the dog back in. Now, in hindsight, I probably could have just frozen right in here. It was dark enough that the guy probably wouldn't have seen me, but I was worried about the dog making it to me. I don't know. I wanted to put something between me and the dog, so I ended up coming over here. And honestly, at this point, I knew that I had deviated farther back, so I wasn't as concerned about it, I guess. And Anyway, yeah, so there was our other deviation. And then we came down the driveway and came over here into the toll gate area. This is that electric fence that I mentioned in the video that you can't see at all. Yeah, this is like a cow pasture and stuff, so yeah, these are electric fences. Nothing really to report about here. This was way easier than it was the last time. We didn't have to go through a lot of these swampier areas that are out here like we did the last time. So we avoided most of that. Made our way through here. I didn't even really show most of this in the video, to be honest. Yeah, and then here's where we get to the cemetery. We come down here, and then we ended the first video right here. This is where I took my water break. And then the beginning of video number 2 was me trying to figure out how to get across this. So I knew this was going to take me past the 25, but this was our first real danger of going outside the gold zone. So let's just take a quick measurement here. Here is the line. Here's the farthest point out we went. That's about 44 meters. Here's where the gold zone would have ended. So we did keep it inside the gold zone here, which I was happy about. So at this point, we're still on a gold run. I bring it back in, stick to the line. This is that Novi road crossing. Again, nothing really big to write home about here. We're still keeping it in platinum. Again, we're mostly in platinum, some very small deviations at this point. Obviously, right here, again, we went out a little bit. This was just me being careless. If I had been on a platinum run still, I probably would have, been a little more careful. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure why I went. When I got to here, I'm not sure why I went this way. I don't have a good answer for that. But yeah, the GPS can be very confusing at times. So here, yep, weaving our way through these apartment buildings. Again, nothing big here. This was all pretty straightforward. Keeping to the line wasn't a big deal. I mean, there were some cars that went by here, which, I wasn't super worried about because I tried to be on the sidewalk or something when they would go by so it wouldn't look suspicious. And then here, again, we dipped outside the platinum zone a little bit here. Again, I probably would have been more careful about that had I been on a platinum run at that point. I know I keep saying that, but that is just the reality of the situation. If I'm not on a platinum run anymore, I'm gonna be more willing to deviate a little bit. Which I don't know. You can say you don't like that. I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. It's not like I'm going way out here or something like that and coming all. I'm still trying to keep the line as best as I can. Yeah, and this was again, and there's a little bit of GPS weirdness here too because obviously you can see in the video I never went back in these woods at all. I came right out here and I came right along here through these backyards. So there's a little bit of, it's not quite exactly where we were. We definitely went right through here. So, there's a little bit of a fudge factor there as well. Anyway, here's where we get into, the real nasty bits, all the swampiness. And even with all that swampiness, we still kept very tight to the line. Because, I do want to keep it as close to the line as possible. Here's making it to the railroad tracks. Again, we're kind of right on the edge of the platinum zone here because this is the really nasty marshy area, and I wanted to just stay on some firmer ground. Again, it wouldn't have been hard to just keep it a little more in here, and we would have stayed platinum, no problem. And then once we got to here, this is the moment right here. Once I got past this swamp, that I kind of felt like, okay, I got this. I'm home free at this point because the swamp was the hardest part to me. I knew that there was going to be the challenge of this semi-truck yard, but I wasn't overly concerned about it, which in hindsight I should have been because right here is where that fence was. It was a super tall chain link fence, ton of traffic. I don't know. I really didn't want to risk somebody calling the police because that would have ended our run pretty immediately there. So yeah, right here, unfortunately, if you take this measurement, here's the line. We are at 52 meters right there, 51, 52. So We are unfortunately outside of gold and into silver at that point, which sucks because we're basically right at the end. But it is what it is. It happened. So, yep, that's our biggest deviation by far, 52, 53 meters, something like that. Brought it back in. Right here is where we had that little conversation with the guy in the lawnmower. Super nice guy. Didn't have any issues with what I was doing, so that was nice. Hopped that fence here, made it into here. And again, just this is more kind of GPS weirdness because if you watch the video, I basically go right here, right along this building. There's never a time when I'm way out here. I go right along this building, right along here, because I knew I needed to be fairly tight to this building to stay close to the line. So this deviation isn't real, is what I'm trying to say. There was never a time when I was all the way out here. And then, yep, came right across here, right across this building, and then this is the line right here. This was the end of Novi. So as soon as I made it through these trees, this is where I declared victory. Yeah, and it's weird. It's almost like it was way easier this time, even though it still sucked and was awful. And that's just an outgrowth of tweaking that line. And if you're planning on going out and doing a mission like this, a tiny, tiny adjustment in a line can make a huge world of difference, like it did for me here. And then at this point, yeah, I mean, you can see I just kind of kept going, and I ended up walking all the way out here, and this is where I met my ride, and we took off. So, yep, that's just a quick analysis of the actual line that we took. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not going to be going back and doing it again anytime soon. I do have some ideas for how to make doing fences like this a little bit easier. I may do a video kind of showing that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just seeing a little quick analysis. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and you'll be able to see all this kinds of stuff in the future. All right, guys, take it easy. Bye.